Here we go again. The National Weather Service releasing their spring flood outlook, and the probability of major flooding is high. This is our top story tonight. The Mississippi River has a 95% chance to reach major flood stage. The major flood stage threshold in the Quad Cities is 18 feet, according to the agency. Local 4's Chase Davis joining us live in the newsroom right now with more on what this means. Chase?
And despite the relatively mild winter in the Quad Cities, snow and ice are melting upstream on the Mississippi in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and it could cause issues here. I spoke with one center leader who said that he's ready but not surprised by the threat of another major flood.
The last flood came within 6 inches of our floor level, so we didn't have any damage. We just couldn't get in the building for about 3 weeks.
Joe Gauthier said he was in the Lamram Kadampa Buddhist Center when the HESCO barriers broke last year. He said he wouldn't be surprised if this year brought more heavy flooding.
I walk down the river quite often, and it's high right now, and usually in the winter it gets much lower because if it's snowpack, it kind of just sits on top of the ground, doesn't melt through. So I just kind of assumed we were going to have a pretty messy spring coming up.
Gauthier says he feels his building is high enough up not to sustain any significant damage, but he might need to prepare for getting in and out again.
Well, I might invest in some hip waders, because I noticed a lot of people who were coming in and out of the businesses and they had like the hip waders up to here, and it made it really easy.
Jessica Brooks from the National Weather Service says you need to make sure you're making your preparations for the flood season well in advance.
You're seeing impacts to maybe some structures, to and maybe roadways, farmland will be impacted. Maybe cities might have to be taking action to protect their cities, put up some sort of barriers. It just kind of depends on the area, but we're expecting more major type impacts when you can get to those levels.
Now, the biggest risk areas are the Mississippi River area from Dubuque on down to Gregory Landing. There's also elevated risks along the Rock, Cedar, Maquoketa, and Waspi-Pinicon rivers. Our Local 4 news team will be tracking the conditions throughout the season, and they'll have the latest updates from the National Weather Service up on ourquadcities.com. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Chase Davis for Local 4 News.
Chase, thank you.